Breaking news update. It appears that Joe Biden has been benefiting from Hunter Biden's business dealings, but appearances can be deceiving. The truth, according to depraved miscreants in the know, is that all of the millions of dollars of money that have been snuck from Hunter Biden's pockets to Joe Biden's are just part of an innocent loan repayment. All kidding aside, Marjorie Taylor-Greene stated bluntly on Tuesday that everybody knows what this is. It is literally the most simple form of money laundering. Is she right? Well, of course she is. You'd have to have Trump derangement syndrome to say otherwise. But let's dig into some of the so-called non-evidence that the mainstream media is whistling by on this December 7th edition of The Breakdown. Now, if you get to the end of the video and find it informative, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel with the subscribe button below, and be sure to click the notification bell. On Tuesday, IRS whistleblowers Gary Shapley and Joseph Ziegler gave closed-door testimony once again to the House Ways and Means Committee, the only committee that can deal with confidential tax information and vote to make it public. After hearing the testimony, the committee voted to release 56 new pages of evidence showing that then Vice President Joe Biden used multiple email aliases and private email addresses in order to communicate with his son's business associate and main financial architect. According to their press release, quote, the president appears now to not only have had knowledge, but also been intimately involved in Hunter Biden's business dealings. The material released today further corroborates the previous testimony of IRS agents Joseph Ziegler and Gary Shapley, highlighting the incredible level of access that Hunter Biden and his business partners had in Joe Biden's public office while working for foreign businesses, end quote. These pages directly refute previous public statements that the president has made that he had no knowledge, none, of his son's business dealings. I'd venture to say that regardless of whether they'd admit it publicly or not, at this point, everyone knows he's simply not telling the truth. That might apply especially to his lying allies in Congress and the so-called Justice Department. In fact, just yesterday, President Biden, when asked about some of these business deals, he got very testy and repeatedly said it was all lies, all lies. He then ended the press availability and he just walked away. Watch.
Can you explain to the Americans, amid this impeachment inquiry, why you interacted with so many of your son and brother's foreign business associates?
I'm not going to comment on that. I did not, and it's just a bunch of lies.
You didn't interact with many of their business associates?
I did not. There's lies.
I wonder, will the press ever demand real answers? Probably not. The IRS investigators had put together a document with data on 327 emails showing the vice president's correspondence by way of email aliases with a key Biden business associate identified as Eric Schwerin, who Committee Chairman Smith describes as, quote, the architect of the Biden family shell companies, end quote. The frequency of alias correspondence between Sharon and Joe Biden increased dramatically. According to Chairman Smith, this happened during times when Vice President Biden traveled to Ukraine. It was also during the time that Hunter was on the board of Burisma in Ukraine. This is extremely strong evidence to support the claim that President Biden was illegally leveraging his position as vice president for personal gain. And by the way, personal gain includes benefits to the family, like to Hunter. Materials presented at the hearing show that Hunter Biden, his sugar daddy, and Democrat donor Kevin Morris's $2 million fix of Hunter's delinquent tax bill came in February 2020, just weeks before the Super Tuesday Democrat primary election, which was seemingly in an attempt to clear up one of the single biggest political liabilities of the Biden campaign. What would the Federal Election Commission say about this? The Ways and Means Committee also looked at Joe Biden's relationship with Hunter's Chinese associates, specifically CEFC's Patrick Ho, whose documented role at the company was to bribe world leaders to advance the company's interest. His conviction in 2018 was for doing that very thing in Uganda and Chad. The IRS whistleblowers provided documents that showed that Mr. Ho gave Hunter $1 million for legal services that were never provided. And when Ho was arrested in 2017 for the aforementioned bribery of American officials, his first call was to the president's brother, James Biden. Ziegler testified about the mysterious financial relationship between Hunter Biden and his sugar daddy, Kevin Morris, who paid Hunter $4.9 million for personal expenses starting when Joe Biden was running for president. It was supposedly in the form of a loan and gift. Well, which is it? Morris also paid Hunter's delinquent tax bill, reportedly, that was worth about $2 million. And Morris stepped in at one point to pay $160,000 of Hunter's delinquent taxes from 2015 because it was a point of contention between Hunter and his ex-wife. The House Oversight Committee, well, they've been busy too, releasing bank records that tell more of the take. Just the News reports that these offer even more evidence, both direct and circumstantial, that Joe and Hunter Biden commingled their finances. All of this during Joe's time in and out of the White House. On Monday, Hunter's attorney, Abby Lowell, pushed back on the story of Joe Biden receiving monthly payments of $1,380 a month from Owasco PC, an entity that was receiving Chinese funds that were paid to Hunter. Lowell said it was all just to pay his father back for the use of a Ford Raptor truck that Hunter had been using during a period of financial struggle. But Lowell, in classic slick attorney fashion, is sidestepping the issue. As Just the News explains, Lowell's explanation for the payments does not address the origin of the funds or tell about the possible flow of foreign funds between father and son. The first payment to Joe was made on September the 17th of 2018, which is also the date of one of the final payments that was made to Hunter by Hudson West III, a joint financial venture between Hunter and Chinese energy tycoon Ye Jianming. It was shortly before this payment that Wells Fargo started asking questions about Hunter's accounts, like this question. The accounts for Owasco PC and Owasco appear to fund primarily personal business. What's the purpose of the accounts? As Oversight Committee Chair James Comer said in a statement on Monday, payments from Hunter's business entity to Joe Biden are now part of a pattern revealing that Joe Biden knew about, participated in, and benefited from his family's influence peddling schemes. Comer's report about the monthly payments to Joe Biden was predictably trashed in the media. Mother Jones writer and MSNBC analyst David Corn swallowed Abby Lowell's comment hook, line, and sucker and dismissed the payments as simply a loan for a truck. The Washington Post also went with the story that Comer had mischaracterized a car loan payment. CNN, New Republic, all of them claimed that it was a huge, hilarious mistake. Nice try, but I think the American people are not as dumb as the mainstream media and corrupt politicians think they are. Well, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel below. Be sure to leave a like and share your comments in the comments section below. You can also get more of my news, analysis, and commentary by simply signing up for my newsletter at MikeHuckabee.com, and it's totally free. Now, we're not going to have a Live with Mike live stream tomorrow, so I'm going to say this now. The Huckabee YouTube channel is finally at 1 million subscribers. Hey, that's a pretty big number. And it's all thanks to you that we got here. And it's more than just a big number. It's a little bit of hope. Because on a platform like YouTube, which is highly biased toward the left, the fact that the content that we put here is able to reach so many people demonstrates that America is still filled with sensible people with strong values. Hopefully, we're doing a good job of giving a voice to you. I want to say I appreciate all the thoughts, the stories, and the prayers that you have shared in the comments. It means a lot to all of us. And for now, that'll do it for this edition of The Breakdown. I'm Mike Huckabee.